Well, hello, everybody. I am Nyson Shepherd, and welcome to an amazing special that we have for today as we lead up to the Women Empowering Generations Conference. We are having a men's panel, and this is a sneak peek of what you will get at the conference. We have Dr. Oliver T. Reed. He is a multi best selling author, award winning speaker, and founder of one second. Was it As I Am? I am.
I
Sorry.
am. I am
Okay.
the so yeah.
So guys, just get ready for an amazing panel tonight. Mr. Dr. Oliver is an amazing speaker. I've had the pleasure of hearing him speak, and his story is amazing. So sit back and enjoy the conversation. Dr. Oliver, it's in your hands.
Awesome. Thank you, Nisa. Appreciate you. Listen, we are super excited tonight to be on with you. Like literally, I was talking to the gentleman backstage, and we've had pre-calls. We just really excited about what's taking place. And listen, go ahead and share this out. Like, go ahead and share this link out. If you happen to stumble on this, you don't want to go past this. We're gonna be talking some real talk, some things that's gonna be really, 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 I think, straightforward and direct. And I am just over the hill, like just amped with the men that I'm bringing together. Shout out before we get started to Allegra Jackson. Like, listen, I'm telling you, Allegra is the founder of this amazing movement, and I'm telling you, you put together something major that's happening March 6th through 7th in the Atlanta area. You can see it everywhere. We've been kind of going hard with social media. You don't want to miss it. You want to be in this Empowering Her to Win conference, and I like what she did here. She said before, man, she didn't want the men. She has a lot of male support, that's pushing carts. They're setting up jumbotrons. They're actually doing stuff on the stage as men. But she said, nah, Dr. Reed, I really want you. I had a chance to hear you and T.O. speak. I really want you guys to come and really bring together a men's panel. And I can't do this without you. I got a text from her today. She's super excited. So shout out to Allegra saying, listen, we're saying, hey, we appreciate you having us at this particular venue and this particular time to share about men issues. So listen, this is not another gathering. It's not going to just be another conversation. It's going to be a place where I've chose four men, four men that I listen. They listen. I've called them up and said, "Hey, man, this is my business. Like this is what I'm really going through. Yeah, this is what I need as a man right now." Like I talked to Jay, I think today or yesterday. I was like, "Listen, bro, this is what I'm going through." So this is men that I trust. So the first point I want to say is that you want to have a circle of men. Men need other men that they can trust, and that I always say like a cabinet, right? They had to have a cabinet. Like if you know anything about government administration, every president chooses a cabinet, and that cabinet is his ride or die people supposedly. And usually nothing happens to that president unless first it starts to happen in the cabinet. So listen, I'm like these brothers. Listen, hey, anybody tell you anything about Dr. Reed? These guys probably already know. So I'm super excited, man. This is going to be a panel discussion that's going to be amazing in Atlanta. But I wanted to give you a sneak peek tonight. First, I want to talk a little bit about these gentlemen and why I selected these gentlemen. Now, one of the things I would like to say, and listen, we have two military veterans in this panel, but they understand this when I say this terminology. I learned this from Sergeant Major T.O. Clay. We'll start with him, Sergeant Major T.O. Clay. He would also say this a lot of times, and I didn't even know. He called me an honorary Marine, but he says, hey, I got my six. He'll explain that after our introduction of what that means. I got my six, and I feel like in this panel, I got my six, right? And so I want to introduce Sergeant Major T.O. Clay. He's a leader of leaders, founder of Light Bulb Lessons, international speaker, spoken on so many different stages, but he is a podcast host, a best-selling author, a father, a military veteran with a phenomenal story, and an altogether great guy, down to earth guy, gentleman who's experienced. I mean, he got more states and more cities and more countries than I can even name under his belt. But T.O., hey man, say hello. Tell us a little bit what you do, man, and I'm glad to have you on this panel tonight.
Oh man, thank you, Dr. Reed. You can hear me, right? You can hear me? Okay, I
Yes,
just want to
sir.
make sure, man. First and foremost, man, thank you for the introduction, man. Like when you speak, bro, I get quiet. I listen. I'm taking everything in the heart, man, because just what you mean to me, Dr. Reed. Like, uh, you're truly my brother, dog. Like I say that all my heart, mind, and soul. I love you sincerely. I've learned so much from you. Uh, and I'm just grateful to be here. Like you said yesterday, the train is still moving, and we're moving for what we both know collectively, and our other two brothers as well, Drew, and we're moving for God, man. And all we need is seven. What is light bulb lessons? Light bulb lessons, man. It's the moment where that light bulb goes off for all of us, and every one of us possess light. And what is light? Light is love, intellect, greatness, health, and truth. I love saying it. I love trying to stretch myself to live it to the best of my ability, push it down to my seeds, down to my children. So, yeah, you're right, man. I spent some good time in the military, United States Marine, 23 years, got to travel the world, got to learn a lot about myself. Came in as a young man, left a man type thing, experienced so many, uh, you know, what we call trials and tribulations of life just throughout that time. But the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that I learned throughout that 23 years is nobody's going to take care of you like you take care of yourself. And you can't do it alone. You spoke on the cabinet, Dr. Reed,
Yes, sir.
that cabinet of individuals that, you could be vulnerable with, you could be real with, that you can come to the table with and lay it out there. And we've had many of those nights before. So um, I love leadership. I love basketball. I love my family, and I love the brotherhood and the connections that we have as a He-Man brother is so near and dear. Shout out to Allegra. Like you said, man, her heart is just, you could feel it just from the moment you're in her presence. You could feel her heart. So I'm just grateful that we've circle back around, man, and we here, man. It's go time. So I appreciate you, Dr. Reed.
Appreciate you, man. Definitely love you too, brother. And I'm telling you, you are in for a treat. You'll see that as we get deeper tonight, having Tio on this platform, near and dear to me, man. I'm going to segue over to my man, Ken Mormon. Ken Mormon is all around business coach, business strategy, serial entrepreneur, owns multiple coffee shops and helping people start their own. I mean, multi best-selling personality. I'm not gonna put him all the way out there, but the boy can sing too. Listen, the man can sing. Got singing children. I mean, he does it all.
Uh,
And man, Ken, tell me a little bit about yourself. I'm glad you're here, man.
oh man, appreciate you, Dr. O, man. Yeah, this is truly an honor to be with you and the rest of the brothers. And like my man was saying, man, you're just a special person in my life. I mean, sometimes, when you say you have what they say, you have family, and you have relatives, and you have family. So man, you
Mhm.
definitely my family for sure. We've been through a lot. You motivate me as well to see how you going through all your trials, but you're still pushing and helping others. And those that don't know, he was my writing coach to help me write my book. So I'm just forever grateful. But overall, man, I just have a passion for people, man. I'm called to love, and I'm really called, and I really enjoy helping others. Go for their dream. If you're already in the middle of your dream, and you reach some trauma, which life goes on. I've been through all of that, and if I can help you through that and help you elevate and maintain your dream as well, that's just where I'm at in this season of my life. So I'm glad to be a part of this panel and look forward to the discussion.
Man, awesome, man. This guy, I love him because he's so man humble in a good way, but a leader. Like I'm telling you, everybody in the community goes to Durrani. He's the founder of Durrani's Coffee Shop in Manassas. Shameless plug. If you are in that area, you need to get
Yeah,
some coffee and get some fellowship and get some time. But man, I love what you said for. Thank you for saying yes, man, to the panel, and
no,
we'll get deeper tonight. We also need to give a shout out to Drew. Drew's not on the call tonight, but man, amazing philanthropist, brand. Um, this guy has a brand called Aware Brand and 40 plus Foot Lockers across the nation. He has a phenomenal story. Young cat that's really thriving. love him, man. He's gonna be at the panel. He's gonna really drop his knowledge. Now I'm gonna move to my brother Jay. Jay is my brother, my guy, my physical trainer, personal trainer, mindset coach that never gave. Let me quit stuttering. Never gave up on me. You know what I mean? He never gave up on me. I done fell off the train. The train done ran me over to you with his fitness journey, but Jay always got me. Voted number one wellness fitness coach by Yahoo Finance. He's been all over, man. If you look at this guy's social media page, man, I look at it. I mean, 150K plus just on one page, doing his thing out here, specializing in a whole lot of. Glad you told me. Yes, and one thing about this brother, no nonsense. I love him. And he said, man, because it's you, bro, I'm gonna jump on here and rock with you. So, man, tell a little bit about yourself.
Man, you be over exaggerating. You killing the fitness too. Glad to be here. As he mentioned, when you asked me to show up, man, no question, no questions asked. Anytime I get the opportunity like this to just show up around men and just speak. We talk about this often that there are not a lot of quality circles and environments. There are a lot of people that position themselves to offer that, but it's not really authentic. And one thing I told you the first time that you invited me out to your first event, second event, it's always just been authentic. So yeah, body transformation coach, entrepreneur, 10 years now, just hit the 10-year mark. The statistics, so that's a blessing. My son is 10, that tracks. Yeah, I'm excited about this because the conversations that we're having now and the conversation that we're gonna have on the panel at the event, in my line of work, I don't really get the opportunity to just step out and speak or be transparent about these things. Especially being a body transformation coach, most people kind of just box me in. They box me in, just fitness, just nutrition. And one thing I say all the time is, the perception of being a coach is that we just tell people what to do. And I'm pretty sure you guys will agree that's not the reality. The reality is that we do more asking of questions than we do telling. Not only that, even when we are instructing or giving advice, it's more so perspective. And that's a major part of the reason that I'm, excited about this, just to give everyone there the reality of what sharing and being transparent as a man is, and just really offering that advice, not really talking at them, but talking with them. That's one thing I say all the time as well. I find myself saying that all the time, even as a coach. I'm not here to reprimand. I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you. So I'm excited.
Bro, you said a mouthful right there, man. You said a mouthful because a lot of times we got to realize too, as men, being a man, being a coach, we're not
Mhm,
always running the plays. We actually draw them up.
mhm,
But at the end of the day, it is really up to the individuals that we coach. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, man. You would look at Jay, but Jay specializes in really working with, for the most part, C-suite women, CEOs, actors, females, which I thought, looking at this dude, I would think, hey, man, he, would only primarily work with men. And I want to start with that really quick about the stereotypes
right.
of how people look at men, from a standpoint. I'll throw that out to the group, man. Each one of y'all can chime in. Have you ever had to break a stereotype in your own life where people looked at you from the outside as a man and
Mhm.
figured you to respond or be or see in a certain way?
I'll go. I'll go first. Um, yeah, and that's that. I blame social media nowadays more than anything. Podcasts, the unnecessary podcasts, pushing certain narratives. And then I just think a lot of people have certain expectations, maybe based on what they saw in their household growing up, what they saw, from their parents or other men in their family. And, one thing that I tell, whether it's clients, friends, whoever, just because you saw certain things a certain way growing up with the men in your family doesn't mean that other conversations and things weren't going on behind closed doors.
And I think the big misconception is that, we don't have emotion. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we don't feel, we don't experience any pain. We just brush everything off, and that's not true. The way that we go about it may be a bit different. We may be a bit more guarded, for certain valid reasons, but that's a major stereotype I think needs to be broken, and I think it's going to take generations for that to happen.
I love that, man. I love that because a lot of times people feel like we don't express pain, we don't go through pain, we don't deal with our own issues based on how we look on the outside. And you talked about something about the conversations that happen
Mm.
in the background. Hey, Ken, T.O., what y'all got on that, man?
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is a good question. I just use my own life, and I'm sure like a lot of men that, we might have acquired some things and business look good, or all the hardworking men that always show up, always there for people and everyone. Sometimes people just think you're okay, you know. Quick story about myself. Like I took the second Moderna shot and I lost my memory. But because of people's perception that, oh, Ken's doing great and he got the shots and everything's good, I'm I'm alone trying to fight for my life,
Mm,
and then, thank God I'm okay now. But 3 years later, and I talked to people, even some family, they meant no harm, but their perception was like, oh, I just thought you were busy. So a lot of men,
mm,
a lot of people think we're just busy, and a lot of times we're suffering. It could be mentally, emotionally, it can be physically, like really going through some stuff. So I encourage people, um, you know, check on us, check on the people that's always there, check on the men that's just like that rock. And I know I see that a lot on social media. I mean, but it's a real thing. And it's kind of like, and also too, if you ask somebody how they doing, if you ask a man how they doing, please be ready for that answer. Be ready,
fact,
because you might be the one that he feel just comfortable enough to unload it on. It might be that right day, the stars line up, and it's like, I gotta let this go. You really want to know what's going on, and I don't need no answer. I just let a little bit of this pressure off. So yeah,
yeah.
check on us.
Well, wow.
Yeah, I would
That's really
definitely
quick.
say, yeah, Dr. Reed, it's I heard a dude yesterday referred to a situation he's dealing with trying to help a friend. He called him ISO Joe. Like, I don't know if y'all basketball heads or whatnot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, ISO Joe,
Nice.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, but that we laughed about it, man. From the basketball analogy, we laughed at it. I was like, ISO Joe. He was like, yeah, man. I keep telling him isolation is not it.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps burying himself deep and deep into the isolation. And I wrote it down, Dr. Reed. The stereotype aspect. I really don't believe it's a stereotype. We do isolate as men. Many of us we isolate wherever that comes from. We know a lot of that trauma is tied back into our childhood. One thing you wrote about in your book, Dr. Reed, uh, the offense, the spirit of offense, man. I cried reading your book, bro. And I'm the first one to say it, fellas. Hey, we talk about crying. I cried. We're 19 minutes in. I cried when I read your book, sitting here in the same space, Dr. Reed, when you talked about going through the suffering of knowing that you was gonna get your, whooped as a kid, bro. Like you knew it was coming, and how you was able to, escape in your mind. You isolated in your own mind for a positive purpose in your own mind because you didn't have no other way out. And all of these years later, now you're fighting back because you have a way out. You're writing about it. You're sharing your story, and it's helping men like me. But again, that isolation piece, I think a lot of us we tend to isolate because we got this whole cloak on, this whole armor, this whole mask that we can't be weak, man. We can't, be looked at as we can't handle whatever situation. So I wouldn't point that so much, Dr. Reed. Ken Jay is a stereotype. It is something that's really real. A lot of our brothers are isolating right in the crib from your own lady, from your own wife. Like you isolate, not oh she getting on my nerves. Let me go in the other room type thing. I'm saying isolating, not knowing how to communicate, not knowing how to open things really up. So yeah, bro.
That's really really powerful, man. And I wasn't gonna cry tonight, but listen, you already pulled something out because that's in this book right here. I got it under my desk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so from that standpoint, it's really really true as men because we cry in silence a lot of times. I love what you said.
Wow.
That isolation,
Mm.
we cry. You see what I'm saying? Isolation, almost, we scream with our mouth closed, gentlemen. And we be real with that. We scream with our mouth closed a lot of times. And that is so powerful. Somebody, can you read that? Somebody read. There's a
I
question on
can
there.
I can read it. I was gonna go around to
Go
Says
ahead,
mine.
bro.
how can men
And
improve in their awareness of being emotional, intelligent when it comes to relationships, and how can women in their lives support them? One more time. How can men improve in their awareness of being emotional, intelligent when it comes to relationships, and how can women in their lives support them?
Well, Jay, what you got, man? You got something on that?
all right, so yeah, I do. But I wanted to real quick just piggyback off of something Ken said real quick when he was sharing. You were sharing the like a misconception that
Mhm.
people just assume you're not going through anything. You're
Yeah.
okay. And what I was
Mhm.
thinking about when you were sharing that was also how they automatically write you off as someone that's just going to figure it out.
Yeah. Yes.
Mhm.
Like, he'll be all right.
Hmm.
He'll and that
You
happened.
strong.
That's happened to me like even more recently,
Hmm.
and it's crazy because I'm just like, man, that I've always had to figure things out, but at the same time, it really just makes you think with certain people when you kind of experience that, like, what if I couldn't, So I just wanted to
Mhm.
share that based on what you shared. But to answer the question, the first thing that came to mind, of course, when we talk about emotional intelligence, because I'm pro therapy, I'm always gonna say really being learning how to establish that space of calm. That's the
Mhm.
first thing, like being calm. Um, because if you can't be calm, if you don't know how to calm yourself, and I know we know how to, as men, yeah, we're good at focusing or honing our focus or channeling our focus into things under pressure, but it's different when you're in a situation you don't necessarily have to, and that could be what, like a conversation, right? Like that's not, it's part of life, but that's not a life situation in a sense. It's not like you're out like in the military or out and about
Mhm.
interacting with a stranger. It's like, oh, I know you, I'm familiar with you, yeah. So um knowing how to calm yourself, um, and communicate. And then I guess the second part of that question was how can the women be supportive of us, right? When it comes to that,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, I'm gonna say same thing. There has to be peace. There has to be peace. There has to be calm. There has to be, truly listening to understand. Like that's the
Yeah.
foundation
Yeah.
because in my
That's good.
experience, in my experience, someone can, I've experienced someone pretending that they want to be peaceful in a conversation. And then, as soon as you start talking or you say something, you just see them tense up, even their body language, right? So, actually wanting peace, actually knowing how to calm yourself, those are the key things on both sides.
Yeah.
I love it.
Hey, hey, Doc, I was just thinking about something about how can the women in our lives help us with the emotional, education and evolving and growing ourselves emotionally. One thing I was thinking about is I seen this thing. I don't know, it's social media, but this man was talking about his skincare, and his skin was flawless, right? And he was saying he realized someone told him, "Hey, just start using your wife's skincare. Like, don't go try to figure out whatever she's using on her skin. You use it on your skin." So with that said, a lot of times the ladies are, women, they know how to go out and get that additional information. But I would say, um, back to what Jay said, communicate that, create a peaceful space for the man, and kind of just talk about what you're learning about it, and prompt him to like think a little deeper about this type of emotions. But at the core, it has to be a peaceful, safe space, only for the sake of growing together and growing emotionally. So sometimes, when women are powerful and they have the power to, educate us. Even with my own sons, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna teach you this stuff, because if I don't, some woman gonna have to teach you in your life, and I
Mm.
don't want that to happen. So
Ooh,
anyway,
ooh, ooh.
yeah,
Hold on, brother. That's
come on.
powerful there.
Yeah, real, real.
Wow. I always talk about the prototype and how men are prototypes. And I grew up without my father. And I realize how powerful that is of being a prototype. And when that prototype gets messed up, I like what you said, Jay, that calming. I've been having to do a lot of EI lately. It's almost like the higher I go, the more I'm finding myself in certain circumstances losing it. Where I thought I had it all together, but it's a different type of level I'm on. You know what I mean? I don't know if you guys can feel that. Like certain levels where that was okay, you did it at that level, but the higher you go, there's a level of EI or emotional intelligence that you need,
Mhm.
right? And I want to just stop it because we had something I want to segue on why I brought Ken to the panel. I'm gonna go around because you guys really are handpicked. Something you said offline, Ken, that I want to stop right here to say we are looked at, you said in your words, we're looked at as protectors. And a lot of times when we do events like this, sometimes men won't go to events like this because they don't feel protected. So I'm gonna pass it over to you. You said something, not another thing. Man, it was so phenomenal to me when you
Oh yeah,
said that. Can you break that what you mean down and the aspects of what you mean when you say that?
yeah. I think when I mentioned, we were talking, and we were talking about just men and our mindset and what we have going on, and I was saying, like, even myself, I have so much going on mentally, emotionally, and just trying to make it, trying to be a mentor to my kids and other people, and just trying to do right. I really believe most men are at our core are trying to do right with whatever information we have in our life. Um, but one thing, I said, I don't think people realize, I know as a black man, and the thing I didn't, on top of everything else, I in this day and age, like I noticed myself thinking about like protecting, my family, my loved ones. I even think, with everything, I even had to think about like if I'm out in the street and I see a sister walking and I see that, that element walking up on us that's supposed to protect us, what am I going to do? Right? My prayers has changed. And I realized this is a weight. I was in another businessman group, 40 men, and everyone was talking about protection and, the weight of how do I take care of the family and myself in this era. But with that said, going into a women's conference, a lot of men don't want to go because it's like I don't want to take on another thing else. We don't know if that's a man bashing, and we know we're not equipped to go up against you know 200 women, let alone one. Um, so that could be a hindrance. While some men, and I know me personally, when I hear, and then there's the other side. When I hear it's a women's conference, I'm like, cool. That's gonna be amazing. Let them get recharged. Man, get my lady in there. Maybe she can hear a little something that I've been trying to say and not able to communicate. You know. So I know men are probably thinking that as well, but definitely not sure if it's gonna be safe. If the men feel the safeness for us, then we'll I think we'll jump on in the conference.
Yeah, one of the things, man, I'm passing over to T.O., man, you talked about the reason I brought you, man, you've been across the world. You've I mean, it's not too many places you haven't been, man. You've seen all types of men, and being a sergeant major, all types of personalities. We work with women as well. When it comes to, man, your phone I know rings daily, constantly. We talked about this, where people are calling you and men are hurting. You said something earlier about isolating, sometimes in the same house with their lady, with their support system, but they're isolated. And I always say this, and I said it in my book: men will feel what they don't say and say what they don't feel.
Hmm.
They will feel what they don't say and say what they don't feel, bro. You get it from top level down. You've been in rooms with generals and all types of people, and your phone still rings. What are men saying to you right now, Tia, with everything going on?
Yeah, Dr. Reed. Man, many men are saying, why be it something like this? That's what many of them are saying, Joe. Many of
Hmm.
them are saying, man, you know, I don't know that cat. I'm not spending no money to go hear that. I'm good, bruh. I'm straight.
Hmm.
But in real raw reality, man, they hurting bad, bro. You
Hmm.
know, hurting bad. And usually, how do I know they hurting bad? Because I'll start opening up about my own mess. I'll start opening up like, hey, bro, don't let the coach thing fool you, bro.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic for me just as much. Who's coaching the
Mhm.
coach?
Hmm.
Who's leading the leader? Who's motivating the motivator? Who's training the trainer type thing?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm experiencing uh that hurt as many times I've called you, Dr. Reed. Like, man, why? If I get online and I'm talking ratchet, I get online, I'm talking about nothing, essentially, or spend all day talking about when LeBron's going to retire. Uh, you know what's going on with Bronny. You know, then the chirp be chirping like crazy. But Ken, soon as I get on there and say, hey man, dog, we got to get more deep and more personable with God.
Hmm. Hmm.
We can
Mhm.
still be dope. We can still be cool.
Yep.
We can still love what we love, but bro, we cannot do it alone, bro.
Hmm.
You know, and every gentleman on this call is a he-man. Shout out to Drew. Drew's a he-man. You
Right.
know, Raul Marine is a he-man. So many different he-mans across the United States right now and some abroad. Um, I needed it, bro. I had to have
Hmm.
it. Slide my face over this way. I had to have it, bro. Cause Jay Lopez knows this. Coming out of the military, bro, you're used to
Mhm.
that camaraderie. You're used to that locker room mindset. You're used to constantly being around dudes that are going to really hold you accountable.
Right.
Leaving the military, what I saw is a whole lot of cats that don't want to be held accountable. You can't tell
Wow.
them nothing. And then when you talk about the question that was tossed out there, um, ladies, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know if that's my music. I'm not sure. But that particular question, the emotional intelligence is realizing that, hey, bro, I'm sick right now and I need an antidote. I'm sick right now. I need to call Jay Lopez and humble myself and say, hey, bro, I'm out of shape, bro. I need to get in shape. Humbleness is, hey, I'm in DC. I'm gonna stop by, you know, Brother Ken's coffee shop. And when he says, man, what up, T.O., man? How you been feeling? How's ATL treat you? Bro, I'm hurting, bro. I'm broke. I'm financially hurting. Me and the wife going through it, or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be. That's the only way real breakthrough will happen, Dr. Reed. Other than that, we're going to continue to be isolated. We're going to continue to front in front of women.
Mhm.
We still going to be living out all of these traumatic things that we, you know, experienced, that some of us grew up without the
Yep.
father. I'm the perfect example, and I said it at Hill and Wide Building. I grew up with my pops. My pops, oh it man, I could literally say my pops on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of being in my life, being the father that I would, you know, dream of having. He's been that. But
Mhm.
he couldn't prepare me for what's out here in this world though. He gave me the foundation, but he couldn't prepare me for what's out in this world. So community, bro. Men are hurting. Men
Mm-hmm.
are avoiding real accountability, real community. The brothers who are,
Mm,
hey, we're here. So that's real talk, bro.
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. I love it. There's a
Um,
question on here.
yes.
Some, yeah.
What's something you learned from a woman that shocked you or made you rethink slash reconsider? Man, so,
Wow.
so
So much.
It's a good one, bro.
yeah, so there's not really a perfect way to communicate this. And if I didn't learn this, I don't think I would have been successful as a coach, to be honest. My first year being a trainer, um, I did okay, but learning this really helped me to help women when it came to their decision making. And that is what I've learned is women think, operate in their emotions. They're wired for that program. Now, here's what I mean, because us as men, we are too. Um, However, I think that we can override a lot quicker. We can override the emotion a lot quicker. Um, we tend to think in the reality of things a lot more when it comes to any situation, like even the future. Um, so that's what I've learned, and I've learned that through experience. It's not something that someone told me. I've learned it by being a coach. I've learned that, just even in a coaching situation, trying to help someone get in shape and wondering, you know, why they're choosing not to follow a plan or why they're backing away from the opportunity to be successful. And through asking questions and getting to the root cause of most things, I've found that a lot of reasons that, women have decided to go another route instead of being successful, or decided not to um, choose better habits when it comes to their health and things like that. When I drill down, most of the time it's just as a result of some type of circumstance. It's a circumstance. And that's really one of the key things to go even further to validate that. That's one of the key things that I typically ask when consulting with someone. What led you? When is the last time you're in the best shape you've ever been in? Typically, 5 years
Mm,
ago, 10 years ago. Okay, cool. What happened between then and now? Every time it's a circumstance. So, so and so
mm.
passed away, or, the shutdown happened, or, I lost my job, or anything. It's always a circumstance. And that further validates and I think that's something that we should all kind of keep in mind. But me knowing that women tend to think and operate in their emotions, it's helped me with communication, not only professionally, but personally as well. And it's the reason that, I've given so much grace in a lot of situations.
Wow. Anybody else? One of the things I would say that I've learned from uh, a woman, one of the first women I fell in love with, that was my mom. She said something that was so powerful. I'll never forget. One day I was actually in the projects. We was catching the bus. We were catching the bus. T.O., you'll love this. We were on our way to church. My mom, even though we was in the project, my mom was a minister on staff, but she was the first one to come and clean the church with people who had cars. She would be the first one there. So we would catch the bus. It was like a 2 hour commute to go 30 minutes. And I remember it raining one day. I mean, it was pouring down, and we crossing the street. She has my sister's hand, and she has my hand. And my mom, to this day, her hands are bigger than my hands. Right? She big bone woman, strong woman. And I wanted Ken, I wanted to jerk away from her hand to run across the street because I'm like, the bus shelter right there is pouring down rain. Let's get
Mm-hmm.
out of the rain. But what happened was I didn't see that there was a two-way street, whatever you call it. It was a traffic, and I was about to head into traffic. without even looking. And she grabbed my hand, and this is what she said. She said, "Walk or run, son. You're still in the rain." She said,
Mm.
"Walk or run, you're still in the rain." And what she was telling me is, you can't help the circumstances, but you can help what you break away from. You still got to be aware. So that's one thing I learned from her, man. Mama Pearl, that's my mom. I learned that a long time ago. Is walk or run, you still in the rain. And as men, we get rained on a lot, right? We get rained on a lot. And I'll say this, I think a question popped up while this question is popping up. I think it's a real interesting conversation that we're having. If anybody follows, I think it's Jason Wilson. He said something very, very powerful. He's a psychologist. He went viral with the karate young man that he was talking to about his emotions.
Hmm.
But he said something powerful that I want to kind of raise here. It's had something to do with masculine and feminine energy. But he said something that he follows a lot of times men and women closely, and he realizes that a lot of men, they are not allowed to dwell in the feminine characteristics of their personality. He gave an example of a woman can be a boss. I know we all work with, I know three of us, four of us, most of our clientele are women, CEOs, high level women, or whatever. Um, and he said that a lot of women can go into a corporate C-suite and dominate, run it, run the company, run the organization, come home and be mom and feel melancholy and, come in with her man and be submissive and be feminine in her energy. But men, on the other hand, doesn't have that opportunity to go in the boardroom and break down and not have it together and dwell in maybe in a feminine aspect or be gentle or to be, in the other emotions that come with that. And I think whether or not we really realize that that's so true. I started to look at it and detach myself from it. Um, and I get a lot of calls a lot of times with different people that say that they're not able to show that. Was there ever a time when you were free to be able to show those emotions on both realms, gentlemen? Or do you find yourself dwelling in more of the masculine energy? We know we're males, but I'm saying just in that energy of having to keep it together.
Hmm. Hmm. That's good. Um, hmm.
So there's something that comes, not to interject, but I definitely got to say this while you're sharing that, man. I wanted to ask it earlier, to be honest. Not really ask, I wanted to say, I guess, but I think all men, and if I'm wrong, that I'm fine with that. I think all men can remember a time where they were vulnerable or transparent about something and it got thrown back in their face.
Mm.
Is do you guys have you guys ever experienced that in your past? Yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Now, someone that learned forgiveness and has executed on it plenty of times, it still doesn't erase the memory, and it's still a lesson in a sense. And that's something that I think isn't talked about enough. I didn't want to switch but I had to share
That's
that
good.
while it was
Mm.
on my mind because it
Yeah.
kind of piggybacks off of that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the same. That's in the same realm. That's good, Jay. I
It
think
is.
I saw Ken and myself. I kind of went back and had to have an exhale moment or inhale moment because I can't even count how many times
Yeah.
that I'm working with someone right now, man. One of the things that he said that was so powerful, man, is sometimes, man, we have to sit in parking lots before we could even go in the house.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, let's just be real. Like I got to get myself together because I know once I get in, and I say, because the typical question, right? I get it. We all get it. How was your day? How many
Mhm.
times, man? How was your day? And if you don't know your man, guess what we're gonna say? It was cool,
It was all right. Yeah.
right? Right. But
Hmm.
that cool don't mean it was cool. But we had a day from hell, Hades, and the underworld, right? We don't had
Mhm.
a day, but because I know if I go into it, I'm gonna have to explain.
Mhm.
right? And I just want to just be able, like, man, we sometimes just want to just get a highlight reel. We just want to do the ESPN version. This
Right.
happened. Well, why didn't you just say something? By the time we do that, I'm just being honest, we're explaining, and then it's more tiring. So
Because it's layered,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a layered it's a layered load. So it's like I can't just take off one backpack. I gotta take off the second one, then the third one. It's like, you know what? I don't have enough time this evening to get into it. I'm fine. I'm fine. So yeah.
Hey, Doc, I was just thinking about that question. That was a good one. I I remember, and it might not apply to all men, but some things come with age, right? So I'm 55 now. So I remember when I
Well, you look
was
good, brother. Hold on, you
40.
look good.
Hey,
You
I take
55.
it.
I would have guessed.
Hey, I'll take it, man. Thank you guys. But I remember I was 40, and some of you might have seen, like, I would see, and I would see ministers or pastors. Some of them, they would cry at a drop of they would just tears roll out, and I'm like, how do I get there? And I mean, this time in my life, I mean, and I think as time went on, and I'm pretty in touch with my emotions. I'm open, transparency is healing. I'm not holding nothing, always been like that, even as I got older. But I noticed as I got more secure as a man, I'm more secure to let that feminine part of me out if crying is feminine or sharing of my heart, because my manhood is pretty solid. I lived long enough to know where I'm weak, where I'm strong, what I'm working on. I know I'm blessed to live past 50. That's like huge. It's not easy to get to 50, right? Most of us know that. That's the goal, to get older. But I know as I get older, my compassion for people, just it's just it's just getting larger and larger. And I even seen when I'm with the fellas sometime and I drop a tear, how it frees them, right? So I know the power in that. But if more men knew, like, the more you let go, the more you get, what I'm saying, almost, if that
Mm,
makes sense. So, but some things do for some men come in with time, right? So just wanted to share that.
man. Before I'm gonna ask you gentlemen this question before we really kind of wrap up and really talk about why I feel, and I personally feel this standing with the lever and this whole team in this event that, as women to get that man there. Because one of the things we've been talking about is having an authentic panel. Like even what we're talking about now, it isn't rehearsed. It isn't staged. We're basically sharing real questions. You guys don't even know the questions I'm about to ask. Right. So I'm about to ask this question before we segue. And this one right here, bro. It's a writer downer because it really got me, man, emotional. And I only do this because I know you guys. I got a relationship with you guys, and I know you're going to share authentically with this answer. The question is, if you lost it all, TOJN, you lost it all today. Wife, significant other, child, all your trophies were taken from you. Everything you've accomplished in your life, every person that you love turned their back and walked away. And you're left looking in that mirror. Who are you? Let me rephrase it. You lost everything, every trophy, every highlight film, everything you've accomplished, everything you stacked in your resume. All that's gone. You are now in the middle of that mirror, like I'm a legend, and you looking in that mirror. Who are you as a man?
Mm.
Who wants to go first?
Still,
Well,
I'm still God's, image, man. I'm still in the favor of God, bro.
Mm,
Because eh, just being honest, gentlemen, man, like when I look at my wife, it's all jokes aside, man. I could look at my wife, gentlemen, and I'll be like, man, if she doesn't wake up tomorrow morning, bro, the same question Dr. Reed just asked is the same way I feel. Like, how do you go and tell your children, "Mama's gone"? You know what I'm saying? Or, yeah, bro, like, she's gone. Like, how do you stand? How do you withstand? So, uh, you have to be rooted, man. You know, I come from some very strong matriarchs, man. And I know many brothers, hey, when we talk about Big Mama, we talk about Granny, we talk about me, Ma, you know, whatever that is to us, you know, if you had that strong root with your mother, it's like the woman that you're with, it's only natural. It's like the inevitable for you to want someone that same quality and attribute of that same type of love. You know, my wife has said to me 1,000 times, boy, I ain't your mama. You know what I'm saying? I'm your wife. I ain't your mama. It never will be your mama and ain't trying to be like your mama. But I'll be like, but babe, that love though. You know, we could call it whatever, unconditional, whatever. So yeah, Dr. Reed, like you know, we still have to stand firm in the tone to the creator.
Yes.
We have to pick ourselves up. We have to look at ourselves and realize that, hey, man, that's why the blessing and the gift is so powerful right now for each and every one of us, man. Whoever that significant is in your life, it may not be your girl, it may not be your wife, it may be your daughter. What's the relationship like with your daughter? You know what I'm saying? So those things are very important, brother.
I love that. I love that, man. Powerful, yo. What y'all got? Anybody else?
Hey, I'll just share a little bit of my story. And Coach T, TL, you hit it. You hit it. Just if I was to lose everything, whatever everything is to you, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm God's child, and I
That's
say that
it, bro.
because, and so I opened my first shop in 2016, right? The year before I opened it, I lost my mother unexpectedly, right? I opened it
Mm.
10 months after I opened. My oldest son, who was 21, on Christmas night got killed in a car accident. So
Wow.
at that point for me, I lost it all.
That's it, bro.
I
You
lost
lived it. You lived, Ken, what Dr. Reed
Yeah,
just asked. You
I
lived it,
lost
bro.
it all. And
Literally.
I really remember as clear as day, um, God telling me, in order to get through this, you're gonna have to love your way through it.
Wow.
And I've been loving on people the best I can and hold back my tears the best I can
Ooh-wee. Mm.
to answer that call. The other thing too, I knew in those times, like, I'm your child, and Lord, what do you want me to do? And I realized for some of us, these visions and dreams we have are there for us to hold on to when you ain't got nothing else to hold on to.
Shoot.
So between answering the call to love my way through through all that heaviness, and still am today, it's a life thing, as we all know and can imagine. But during them hard times, I had to hold on to my dream because I had nothing else, you know. And at the same time, you know, I'm out in public, things look great, the business is doing great, and I'm like, how do I hold this family together, my kids? And it also, once I decided that, okay, I'm God's child, I'm gonna hold on. As time goes on, you know, I focus on the people I can touch and remember the ones I can love. You know,
Mm.
remember the ones that I lost, but I focus on those I can touch. So I'm like, man, I still got two little ones. I mean, they're grown now, but at the time they were little, and so, which causes me, especially, and this is the thing we can talk about men being present. So in order
Mm-hmm.
for me to
Mm-hmm.
survive, I had to live present, right in the day, not in the past, not what I had, not what I would have had, but what do I have? You know. So yeah,
Mm.
definitely the
Yeah.
creator, source. That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Mhm.
Every time I hear that, I get chills.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
But
it, bro.
yeah. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate the support, bro.
That's it.
And I appreciate the space to share it, which is kind of what Jay was talking about, like the safe. We can talk. It just needs to be a safe, because depending on the energy of this call, what I felt like safe enough to even share that with you guys. So yeah,
when somebody said on here, Keisha said, that's a word. Love your way through the pain
through the pain.
that holds on. What does
Hmm.
that say? Hold on to your dream.
That's it. That's it. And no little did I know through that, so many other people need to still see me do it. And when I get the stories, boy, there's just kind of like Coach Tio was saying, men are just so many men, especially during COVID. Unfortunately, we lost a lot, and boom, we just battle it up. And but men see me and like, all right, bro, which opens the door for us to talk a little bit. So
Yeah, man.
definitely loving. And it's a snowball effect, because now it's like, well, what does love look like? Which
Mm,
allowed me to grow more emotionally, because I'm asking the questions. What does me loving through it look like to anyone
Mm.
in my life, or a stranger, or you know? Um, so yeah.
I cry, Kim, when I think about the building in Manassas, bro, and just how that came into fruition, bro.
Oh,
Only God, bro.
only God.
That's
Only God.
only God. Yes,
Only God. But those that
only
don't
God.
know, I have a coffee house, and I got a word from God to open up a coffee house, and I didn't drink coffee. So I love it now, but at the time I didn't drink coffee. But yeah, God is amazing. And real talk, through some of these trials we're going through, I know what I went through. I can easily see anyone who's not rooted in God, how they can just check out easily, depending on what it is and who it is. Which more important, like if it wasn't for my belief and my rooting, I could easily just one, two, three trauma stacked up, one major one. It don't take much, you know. And
mm.
I consider myself pretty stable emotionally and grounded. And I was just like, wow, you know, I can see it. But I never had a suicidal thought, but I could see the level of pain. And
Mhm.
then even in that, the expectation for men to still have to do whatever we provide, work, take care of ourselves, be a good this, be a leader, boom, and that, you know,
Yeah,
it can be a lot. Yeah.
man.
Hmm.
Jay, before we turn the corner, man, you got anything on that? Who would you be, man? Everything's gone.
So, I'm a visual person, man, and listening to you ask that question, um, I just really saw myself stripped down to nothing. And I'm gonna be honest, that doesn't it doesn't sound unfamiliar.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
I think due to what I've experienced already,
Mm.
all I could feel is still be assignment driven, to be honest with you. That's it. Like stripped down to nothing is like, all right, so what's the assignment? Because
Ooh.
I'm not attached to anything here.
Hmm.
I care more about how I live after. I care way more about how I live after. So,
Hmm.
I think about what Jesus had to endure a lot of times too. It's just like helps you put things into perspective. It's like, look, if he did that, okay, so what's the assignment? Um, that's it. That's how I felt. That's all I could ask myself while you were asking that question. What is the
Hmm.
assignment? What's the assignment? Because one thing I say often when someone comes to me with a problem or something that they're going through, That's what I share with them. I ask them, do you believe you're purpose driven? You're walking your purpose. You believe you were put here for something. Okay, cool. So did Jesus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what what does it mean to be obedient? So if that comes along with being obedient, so be it. It's not to say I'm not going to go through the emotions and the pain, but I think a lot about, again, listening to you ask that question. I've been through a lot of dark times where I just felt like, man, I'm not even here right now. Mentally, I'm not even here right now, like completely checked out. Um, so yeah, if I lost everything, I feel like with with whatever I have left in me, what is the assignment? What's the assignment? What is this for? That's all I could honestly say to myself while you were asking that question.
Man, and that gave me chills, man, because we're gonna wrap this up there. But one of the things that I love what you said is the assignment, and we
Yeah.
don't give ourselves the assignment. That's the powerful thing in life. We don't give. I'm in the writing space,
Mhm.
and I always think about this, Tio. Like we don't give ourselves the manuscript. We don't. We don't. We may be a character in this book, but
Mm-hmm.
it's already. Once you realize that authority comes from the divine, that
Mm-hmm.
He built us in such a way. Like Ken said, like, why did He take His life? He had everything because it was already in the manuscript. There's something inside of us that is so powerful that when men get together, until we talk about this all the time with He-Man, right? The organization that we want, like when we get together, men unlock men. And that's why I want to challenge women to understand it. There's certain levels in relationships with the other side, with females, that they cannot unlock as a man. As a woman, they can't unlock it. It's not. I want to put this in. Ain't nothing you can do. You're not responsible for that man's healing. You're not responsible for that man's, altitude. And I want to take the burden off of any woman that's watching. That you're not
Mm-hmm.
responsible to repair him. You're not responsible to give him anything. One of the things I always say is that it's not a responsibility for any woman to make me happy. They can fan the flames. I have to be happy. I want them to fan the flames of happiness my way, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, the reason why I feel like people should be in this room, and I'm gonna ask everybody in this panel this, is because women, if you can get men in this room, they need to understand that there's things that will automatically unlock. I'm watching it happen as we're on live streaming, as we're sharing. I saw a gentleman come in and say, "Hey, man, Jesus wept." He was able to see that from another man, right? Ken, I don't know if somebody's watching,
Mm-hmm.
and I know all of your stories, but I don't know if somebody's watching that lost their son,
Yeah. Yeah.
that lost their mom
Mm-hmm.
in a year. Well, listen, man, tears came out my eyes because I understand what loss means, and until you can bounce back. And then Jay came with this phenomenal thing with this. I want people to understand. Put this in the chat. You got to understand the assignment. If you left, there's still an assignment that you
Yes.
have to do. So I'm challenging, man, women to get their husbands, their nephew, their sons. So you don't know, we did something. All y'all was a part of. Matter of fact, in Atlanta, y'all were there with men, 14-year-old boys, 14-year-old boys, because we provided an atmosphere. Was able to say, "Hey, I was molested." They grabbed the mic. We were
Mm-hmm.
on a panel, and they started to grab the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I was molested by my babysitter. I was going. There's only things, women, I want you to understand that can be unlocked when other men unlock other men. And so I know there's something on this panel tonight, and there's going to be something that happens in March that you need to get your son, you need to get your husbands in there, and some will come and some won't. One of the things we will do is that we will promise you that there will be an authentic panel. That this will be some people that I brought together that's going to tell you the truth and be able to really share with you. Why is it important as we close? And I want each of you to share why you would want another brother to be in it. Because we know women are gonna support, but why would you want another brother to be in it?
Man,
Uh,
time, bro. Is you said it, Dr. Reed, down in Florida, man. You know, God gave time his time. God gave time its time. And it's time, bro. Like it's just time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm reliving that moment down in Hateville. We was all there when them young fellas grabbed that microphone. They felt comfortable because of the atmosphere. The atmosphere, man. God's gonna be there. Whether it's at the Modex, whether it's at uh Mercedes Benz Stadium, whether it's in the basement of my house, God's going to be there. Because
Mm-hmm.
where two or three gather, he's gonna be in that midst. Like right now, man, I'm just fed off of what Ken said, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I look at Ken right now on this screen, I'm like, bro, I could do anything, bro. I don't care how hard it get, bro. Because if I pick this phone up right now and call my mama, dog, I know she's gonna answer, and I can hear her voice. Son, I love you. How the boys doing down there? Y'all still got snow in
Mm-hmm.
Georgia? Blah blah blah. Ken don't have that no more, but he's
Exactly.
got it in the spirit though.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
so any brother out there, man, listen, the spirit, bro. We
Mm-hmm.
we 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 are not fighting with knives and guns for real, for real. We fighting in the spirit. In
Yeah.
in the spirit, man. I'm telling you, it's we got to get out of the carnal, bro. The carnal is killing us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Women too. It's not just men. It's all of us collectively. So I could go on, man, about it. And I just want to thank you, Dr. Reed, for providing the platform for us to be vulnerable. I'm blessed for being here because what came out of Ken's mouth, bro. Like just that by itself, bro. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna hug my boys. I'm gonna hug my wife, bro. And I'm gonna look in her face, babe. I love you, man. We got another opportunity
Good. Amen.
to
Good.
continue. So,
Uh,
man, get in the building, fellas. It's gonna be
no,
really good, man.
Yeah. Hey, Coach T.O., something you said that, but sometimes, you get enough loved ones on the other side, you start seeing like, and I get it because I used to do it, but like the things everyone's complaining about. And sometimes I want to scream to the top of the mountain, like, go kiss your babies.
hmm,
Go kiss your baby.
wow.
Everybody can't kiss their baby. You know what I'm saying? But this is another reason why men should be at this thing, at this conference, because most men we're doing what we have to do. We're in our bubble, and if you have a significant other in your life, she might be saying something, you might not hear it, but the man will, no doubt, hear some of the other challenges women are going through and what they had to do to overcome it, and it might unlock something in him. He might not say it, ladies, but it might unlock something in him. Like, oh, let me make this adjustment. And at the end of the day, I don't care who it comes from, as long as you make a switch, because then you can get caught up. Well, I tried to tell you. However, if God used a rock to tell him to make that change, let the rock talk to him. So if it's this conference to get through him. And the other reason I think it's good, Dr. O, you mentioned about men, there's only some things men can unlock. And like I share with you guys, we heard about it, about people taking the vaccine, and there's like 1% that, well, okay, on top of everything else, I was in that 1%. I took the second one, and this is 3.5 years ago, and lost my memory. So I remember my cousin, I live alone, right? So I had help, and I was just sitting in the house like this, you know. And my cousin flew from LA. He's my brother. He's been in my life. We grew up together.
Yeah.
He came and stayed 30 days with me. Now he got two little girls. And I remember, and I hold on to this today, and this is for everybody on the call. He looked at me, he said, "Cuz, I gotta go. I gotta go, man." He said, but he said, I'm gonna say ninja, but y'all know what I mean. He said, I can't lose my ninja. I can't lose my ninja. He said, but I gotta go, man. He said, promise me something. I said, what? He said, you gotta fight. You gotta fight for your life. You gotta fight for your life, man. I can't do it for you. And to this day, I think about that every day. So it's not only fighting for my life and my health. I fight for it for my emotional well-being. I fight for my. I learn when you take the mind and you realize if you're not fighting, you're just being taken on. If you're just cruising and not intentionally fighting for the things in your life, you're just being led. You got to be intentional about your survival and elevation while we're here. So, but that man unlocked that in me. I mean, I talk to him every day, a couple times a day, and I'm like, cuz every now and then I said, thank you, man. I'm still fighting, He said, you're doing amazing. So for the men that get there, we can share. They need to fight. They need to fight whatever challenges. And sometimes you just need to hear it from a man.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm grateful to be a part of this in any kind of way. Any kind of way.
Yeah. Grateful, bro. Hey, I love you, man. And
Yeah.
you can't talk no more tonight. I'm tired of wiping my eyes,
I'm
bro.
done.
That was just
Hey, man.
Shade.
Y'all don't pull out the cushions, the comforters. I got, I feel good. Got cocoa in the room. I don't know if it feels comfy in here. Let's talk.
Let's go. I love it, brother. Keep talking, brother.
So this is funny because I kid you not, I know God's speaking to me because I have never told anybody this. It's not a big deal. It's my perspective based on the question you asked. Why should a man be in the room? I kid you not, I've never had any reason to even share this.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came to me now. So when I was in high school, class of 07,
All right.
I was in high school. Our ninth grade year, my aunt moved basically like out of the school zone, and they were working to try to get the school bus to come, all the way down this long street to come get us. And that didn't happen for I'm gonna say 3 months. So me and my brother, we had to walk to school, and we had to get up early, had to leave early and walk up this hill. And this was in the wintertime. And I remember it rained some mornings. It was so cold. And there was this teacher that stayed not too far. And every day she would drive past us. And this was a very far, steep hill. We had cars driving by, all of that. And me and my brother never had a conversation about it, but both of us would always, no, we're good. Y'all need a ride? No, we're good. Like politely, we're good. And I remember one morning she wasn't driving. It was her husband. And this was like months into that. Every morning, stopping. Do y'all need a ride? Do y'all need a ride? No, we're okay. And he stopped. Hey, what's up, fellas? Y'all need a ride? Nope. Walked right around, got in the car, and her mouth was wide. She was like, and she was looking at him, and he just kind of laughed it off. And I mean, looking back, I think that kind of speaks to answer your question. It's just about that energy, right? Feeling safe enough to kind of just let the guard down. I think looking back, just accepting that ride from her was just something we couldn't do, man. And I don't know, maybe it'd be more, and maybe it might be more layered, right? It might be more to it, but I don't know. We just couldn't accept that ride. But I remember that guy pulled up and didn't. This is the thing. We knew this teacher. We had seen her and everything. We had no reason to feel any type of way. And I had never seen this guy. But hey, fellas, y'all need a ride? Got in the car. And it was almost as if we had known this guy. So, and that came to me, when you asked that question, I had to share it. But maybe it's more to it, right? But that's my perspective to answer that question.
I get it.
Well, that's good, and that's what we're saying. And wrapping up, y'all better get in. And we come in March 6th and 7th. You pull it up, and if you need a ride, this is the time when you need to come on and get in. And I love that part, man. Somebody asked this question that keeps popping up, so they want us to answer these questions, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So we gotta answer this question.
I'm here for it.
Y'all here for it?
Hey, no doubt.
I am.
No doubt.
Even though all men are different, what is one common thing that most men want from their woman? I really wish we could just write it down and put it in a bowl and just reach, because I'm confident we, even if you pick a different piece of paper, it might say the same thing. But you know what?
Possibly, brother.
Kid, what you got? You know what? I'll wait. I just want to see. I just
Oh
want to
man,
see. Drop it in the chat.
I know myself included, and many men I know. You want me to share or drop it in
Yeah,
chat?
go
You
ahead and
know
share,
what?
brother.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
We really we need that safe space. You need that. I don't have the vocabulary to put as much as I need on it when I say safe space, because there's nowhere. My guard is up all day, every day, and the only place I could, let it down is at the house. Now, if I can't let it down at the house, I'm a ticking time bomb.
Right.
And okay, what is safe space? A safe space to, I think we kind of talk about, to share something, and sometimes I don't want to be corrected, and sometimes I just need an ear, and I can go on, and
Right.
But ladies, when I tell you, men are yearning for it, and I wanted to bring this up too, and it's kind of like, most men, if you think of battle, we're not going to go into most battles that we know we can lose. So we know women are powerful. We know the average woman is so skilled with your vocabulary. And if it ain't right, I can't, it's not even that I want to win, but I can't even be heard because I don't have the skill set to go against those. They got the rifle on automatic with questions that come and all valid. They can be valid, it ain't about that. But I'm like, and I'm a man that can talk, right? So, and I still at some point like, you got it, and I'll just shut down. But if you create that safe space and get skilled with it, and the way y'all know how to get skilled with it, we ain't gotta. That's a whole, y'all know how to do that. But but I get it. In order for a woman to create a safe space, you have to be vulnerable.
Yeah,
and it's like you taking a chance, depending on the man and what you try. I get all that, but you gotta be in a space where it's like it's worth me being vulnerable to get this man a safe space and just kind of let him talk a little bit. And I'm like, all right, cool. Hey, feel better. The next day, I'm telling you, we have so much to say. And if you encourage us the right way, we'll tell you what you need to hear. All right? We'll tell you what you need to hear. It might not be, and it doesn't have to be in the way you would say it,
But isn't that the beauty though?
Yeah.
That's the beauty, man. Like,
yeah.
God created us. You know what I mean? So, I say the most common thing is respect. Because that the respect covers everything, yo. If you respect me and I respect you, man, it's really blissful. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
Understanding that, yo, we are different. We from different states. Yo, you in high school like high yellow ninjas, and now you with me and I'm dark skinned or whatever it may be, yo. It still has to be respect, yo.
Yeah.
And that covers a multitude, man. Just respect. Just simple respect, man.
Yeah.
And
it's something you said that, because when you said that, respect, which was on my mind too, was like right there.
Yeah, bro.
But if she creates a safe space, I feel respected.
Yeah, you respect it.
It's
That's
all connected.
It's the same thing. If wifey say, "Do you like this lipstick? We about to go out. You like this lipstick?" Respectfully, no, I don't.
Right.
That's if I'm gonna get beat down, because respectfully, I think this one looks better or whatever. That's where that real respect has to really be because I gotta accept that same thing. Babe,
Mm-hmm.
you think my locks look good? Nah, your forehead way too dang on big. Like I gotta respect it. So yeah, man.
All right, so
Respect is definitely one.
Respect is it, really. But
yeah, I kid you not, y'all. I had two answers, and both of you just said Ken with the peace
uh-huh.
and Coach with the respect.
That's it.
That was it. That was it. And I want to share this because I know you were basically saying you're saying that the woman should, create the space, right? And here's what I was thinking. A peaceful woman is the safe space,
Mm.
right? A woman
Mm.
that has peace within herself is that space.
Yeah.
It
That's
can be that peace. It needs to be in the house, out of the house. I don't care where we at. Like,
mm-hmm.
Mm.
should that peace and respect should go everywhere. If we're somewhere and there's a disrespectful situation, I'm still expecting you to maintain your peace and respect, even if I gotta step out of bounds a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and that still aligns with what you're saying, Ken, as well. Like we already, as black men,
Mm-hmm.
we're already up against too much out here.
Yeah.
Can I at least come home and not have to play chess? Like,
Yeah.
can I come home and not
Oh
have to
boy.
sit at a table and
Dr.
play
Rick can't
chess?
stop moving.
Like, at the very least, when I say at the very least, I mean, regardless of whatever else is going on, at the
Yeah.
very least, can I at least come home and not have to play mental and or physical games? Like, can I at least? And then,
Mm-hmm.
Coach, with you sharing the respect, I know a lot of times through conversation or online, when this will come up, men want respect. Usually what I hear is y'all gotta give us something to respect. I just want to be
Mhm.
clear. We are healed, purpose-driven men. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not speaking for the total opposite. We're not speaking for someone else that hasn't gone through that, right? We
Right,
are
right.
speaking as respectful, peaceful. I didn't say perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't say
Not at
perfect,
all. Not at all.
right? But respect, like we need that. That's like our
Mm.
energy. So we
Yeah,
like,
that's
and it doesn't mean,
mm,
and the respect doesn't mean
Mm.
bow down, do everything I say,
yeah,
be a yes woman.
Yeah. No.
That's not
yeah.
what respect
No.
means. Respect,
Not at
respect to
all.
me, respect to me is a, in most cases, like a non-conditional form of awareness, right? What does that mean? Hey, whether we have a disagreement, whether you made a mistake doing whatever, look, at a foundational level, I still trust you, right? I still trust you. I still know you to be the great person that, I'm not going to abandon what I think or what I trust because of a situation or a disagreement. So y'all hit the nail on the
Mm.
head.
Bro, you just hit it too. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's it,
Hey, look, I
Dr.
knew
Rick.
I knew when you said it, I was like, oh,
That's it.
you,
That's it, bro. That's it.
I knew it. She said,
and
respect,
when he,
peace, and a safe space. What healed men want the most, for sure. And if she's not that, we're gonna know. I think that's something
Yeah,
else to
man.
know. We know it takes one to
Yeah.
know one,
The
and
creator gonna know too.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
So this is, and it's not gender specific. I gotta say it. a lot of times people tend to want someone healed and peaceful. And then my thing is like, are you? Are
Hmm.
you? Because if you're not, it's going to be disruptive. If
Woo,
you're
man.
not, and I'm speaking from experience. And you know
Oh
what? I
man.
want to share. I want to share this. 2000. I'm gonna say 2018. Um, at that time, I started dating. Right, I was in a position, when I finally got stable financially, like, you know what? I'll try this dating thing. And I remember going on a couple dates, and I was experiencing depression after the date because she'd ask about my family. Hey, I know you're a coach, I know you got your business, but where's your parents or your brother? And I had so much going on with my family at the time. I wasn't at peace. And just just by someone asking me over the candlelit dinner conversation, it was disturbing me. And I remember that's when I started therapy. I had to go to therapy because I'm like, I can't blame her for how I'm feeling, but I don't know why I'm depressed and I'm angry after basic conversation. And obviously, the therapist helped me become aware, like, yeah, there's some things you haven't, kind of spoken about, open up about. And I'm sharing this because,
Mhm.
like I say, I'm not talking when saying what I'm saying right now, I'm not talking at anybody. I'm talking with you. Like I can tell you from experience, if you
Hmm.
want someone peaceful, you gotta find peace within yourself. You
Hmm.
got to do the
Mhm.
work.
Yeah.
My God. We can go on all
I
night.
know,
Like this is
man.
what
Look, this
this is why
this
y'all
is
need to
the
do what you're doing.
panel.
This is the panel. Like we are
This is the
these guys.
panel. We
Listen,
get
these guys are busy. So one of the things I'm telling you men, as you see this in women, these guys are busy. Each one of them run their own companies. We got stuff to do, but this is how valuable it is. Because T.O., we talk all the time how our phone rings about, let this not be a time where people buy what they want, but then they beg for what they need. I know that men need this, right?
Mm.
I'm gonna say that again. We buy what we want, but we beg for what we need. So
Mm.
I hope this airs, man, and re-airs. Listen, it's going down March the 6th through the 7th at Modex. Amazing video, amazing video. I meant to say venue where you can get your tickets. It's on the ticker. We put it in the chat. Like, man, we got to make it simple. We need you to go get the ticket.
Mhm.
Women, we need you to share the ticket while things are good. Don't bring this conference up if y'all beefing, right? Because he ain't hearing it. Like when everything going good, guess where you slide this in. I'm trying to help you. You go ahead, don't bring it home. I just watched this and you need to be there. No, after everything good, you know what good is. I can't tell you what your good is. Then you say, hey, listen, let's go step out. You know what I mean? These 2 days, we got some stuff there. Go, check out the replay. What's going to happen? All right. So it's amazing. So, guys, we're leaving, but follow us, man. Follow these gentlemen. If you want to have another conversation, thank you guys for being on with us. Grab your tickets. Thank you so much, Alexa, for letting us rant and really get this out. I hope you were blessed, guys. Anything else you want to say, pardon?
Oh,
I don't know if that's like you to get off here, but
no,
I'm good.
Man.
This
well,
is a blessing, man.
Hmm.
I want to say thank you so much for this amazing conversation, y'all. If y'all had a great time listening to these amazing men tonight, this is only a sneak peek for what you're going to get at the conference. So, what are
Yeah.
you waiting for? Get your tickets, and get your tickets. Okay. So, follow these men. The information is in the chat and use promo code doc. I think it's Oliver for your promo code. They can use your promo code to get their
yeah,
tickets at a discount. So check them out. Connect with all these amazing men. Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but this was amazing. I had a great time. So, thank y'all once again for coming on. Everybody follow everybody and connect. So if you guys are interested in sponsoring the community and the conference, the link is in the chat. Also, if you know anybody in the area or wherever they are, we are looking for volunteers. So have them connect with me as well. And yeah, and just let's make this an amazing conference, one that is unforgettable. So, without any further ado, that's all we have for today. And just stay connected to the community. You never know when we will pop up. Does anybody have any final words?
I got one last thing. The
Okay.
cheat code. Here's the cheat code, ladies. When you're riding in the whip with your man, just put it on and just let it play. Just put it on, just let it play. He gonna be in the car looking out the window. He gonna be like, man, who's that? Just let it play. Love y'all out there, man.
Love
Good.
you, bro. Love
Anybody
y'all
else?
guys. Thank you.
Nah, that's it.
Yeah,
This
that
is
was
All
a
good.
right.
blessing.
Until next time, guys, get your tickets, get your tickets, get your tickets. I am your host, Nysa Shepherd. Remember, you're loved, you're amazing, you're more than enough, and you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. And every moment in life is your miracle moment. Have a great